Hi guys, One More Till I Die here, back again with another YouTube video on the channel. I do first of all, as you can see, different background today. I'm not filming upstairs in my bedroom today, I'm filming downstairs. But yeah, anyway, I just also want to apologise for the lack of uploads recently on the channel. I haven't had a chance to do any due to the fact I've been working for a while. And yeah, that's the reason. But today's video, as you can see from the title if you haven't already, is looking at all the new grounds we're going to be visiting in League 2 next season. Of course, we were relegated, and only till yesterday, all 24 sides hadn't been confirmed until yesterday in the National League playoff final. I'm not going to say who won it because obviously you'll find out later in the video, but if you don't watch the video unless you've seen who won yesterday, just in case you don't know who won it between Solihull Moors and Grimsby Town. But yeah, anyway, let's get on with the video. So the first ground we'll be visiting next season is, in alphabetical order of course, is Barrow FC. I will put a picture in at the end when I've gone through the explanation. But yeah, Barrow FC currently it's their third season I believe at this level, and the ground is Holker Street and it holds 5,045. Sorry, I was just trying to get up on my phone there. And yeah, I know you've probably seen the pictures before. A lot of people go, oh, that's such a shit ground. But I will put a photo in at the end of this clip. But basically, it's a nice little ground, something I'm looking forward to. I don't think many of us have been there before. And yeah, so Barrow FC will be the first one to be visited. The next ground we'll be visiting is Bradford City. Obviously, Bradford Valley Parade. It currently holds 25,126. Massive ground for League 2, I know you'll think. Just a shame Bradford's not a nice area in general. But obviously we have played them in League 1 and League 2 before. The last time we went there, we drew 0-0 and stayed up in League 1. Obviously, that was 3 seasons ago now. Can't believe that was that long. But it's a nice and old ground. It's very big. I think we could take a few there, depending on when we play during the season. They're obviously one of the bigger clubs in League 2 that haven't got themselves up out of the division yet. And yeah, I think personally we can do well there. The next ground in the tour is Carlisle United, and they obviously stadium is Brunton Park. It holds 17,949. Another big ground for League 2. And they've been stuck at this level for a while. There's not really been much about it. Obviously, a lot of people say it's a bit of a poor old ground, but it's old school, and I like these sort of grounds. Obviously, the ground's massive. I don't think they get much. I'm not sure if they'll do well next season because they did struggle quite a lot during the season just gone. I don't know where they finished in the league, but it's a nice ground. It'll be a very long away day because obviously Carlisle is just on the outskirts. It's on northern England, pretty much close to Scotland, and I think it'll be a good ground to travel to. The next ground on the list is Colchester, and this will be my local one. Obviously, I don't know if you guys are aware, I live in Suffolk, which is just down the road, and it's the Colchester Community Stadium. It holds 10,105. We've never actually played a league game against Colchester United. I have done the ground before as a neutral when I was watching them against Yeovil back in 2017. I think it was against Yeovil, I can't remember who it was. But I've never ever seen us play Colchester. Excuse me. It's a very nice ground, a bit of a hard place for it because it's right on the A12 road, but it's not in the town, so you have to literally get a bus up to the ground because it's about a 40-minute walk from the station. I've been there before though. It's a very nice ground. It's a very modern ground, nice, and there'll be one looking forward to showing to go to. The next ground is Crawley Town. Broadfield Stadium holds 5,996. It's just under 6,000 fans. Obviously, we played them before. We played them in non-league and in League 2. Nothing much really nice about Crawley. I don't know why they still hate us. I honestly don't know why there's a rivalry between the two of us. I mean, they just seem to think that they think we live rent-free in their heads half the time, I'll be honest with you. But it's not great. I mean, obviously they've just had a new ownership and a new manager. I think they're about to appoint Arsenal's under-23s coach as their new manager. But it's an okayish ground. The away end's not great. But I'll be looking forward to travelling to it because we haven't done it for so long. But yeah, Crawley Town next on the list. The next ground is obviously a team we played last season. It's Crewe Alexandra. Obviously, they play at Gresty Road or Mornflake Stadium, I think it's called these days. Attendance of 10,153. Now, Crewe, obviously, that was a game that pretty much everybody knew we were going down that season, especially the fact they were already down, and they humiliated us really. But it's a nice ground, the massive stand. It's not far from the train station, so it's easy to get to. And yeah, it's a nice ground to go to. The next ground on the list is Doncaster Rovers. Now, Doncaster, again, another side that we played last season have come down with us. They obviously play at the Keep Moat Stadium, and attendance of 15,231. Now, would you believe it or not, we played them on that last travel there was the first game of the last season. Seems a long time ago now, and we all thought we were going to have a fantastic season. But it's a very nice modern ground. I've got nothing against it. I mean, I've done it 3 or 4 times now when we were in League One with them. And it's a very nice ground. It's okay. It's just a bit of a walk from the station, but it's a nice ground, and I think we'll be looking forward to visiting again next season. The next ground is Gillingham, and obviously that's the Priestfield Stadium, which holds 11,582. Now everybody knows Gillingham is known for one thing and one thing only: the away end. Obviously, everybody knows how bad the away end really is. I know, but it's old school for me. It's an open-end away end. I don't know whether they're ever going to put a roof on it. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of Gillingham just because the town's a bit of a. I'm not going to say the word, but it is a bit. You know what I mean. You know what I'm on about. But as a ground, I look forward to. It's a nice, easy one for us, and I think I'm looking forward to going there again next season, like I do all the time. The next ground on the list is the playoff winners, and that's Grimsby Town, the team that won in the playoff final yesterday. They play at Blundell Park, and it's attendance of 9,052. A ground I'm looking forward to going to, 100%. I've never done this ground before in my life. I think the last time we played Grimsby must have been at least 10 years ago when we were back in the conference, because I cannot think if we've ever actually played them or not. If we have played them before, let them know in the below. Comments down below. But Grimsby, for me, is a good team. It's a good ground. It's a bit old school. It's just a bit fat. It's a bit of another one of them towns. Is a bit, you know what I mean. But it's nice, and I think it's a new ground for us. I think hopefully we should play them early, because I don't want to play them early because they might be on a bit of a run from obviously going up from the up to the National League. So I hope they'll be on a bit of a bounce coming up. But it's one ground I'm definitely looking forward to visiting next season. Next ground on the list is not far from them, but actually just across to Yorkshire. It's Harrogate Town. They play at Wetherby Road. I don't know if it's actually what it is, but that's what I've got on my list. And the attendance of 5,000. Now, this is a very non-league ground. If you look at it on site, it's a small ground. It's not really League 2 quality. I'm not being rude to Harrogate fans. I apologise if I'm offending you, but it's not really a great ground. But to be fair to them, very well-run club. Good manager. They've done well to stay in the league 2 years. I think this is also their 3rd season at this level. And yeah, I think personally, if they do well, I do well to stay up. They do well. If they do well, I do think next season they're going to struggle. I'm not going to do my predictions just yet though, because I'm not sure. I'll wait till July to do them so I can see all the transfer activity. But another ground I'm looking forward to visiting too is Harrogate. Next up on the list is Hartlepool United at Victoria Park, at an average attendance of 7,856. The attendance, and that's a new ground. I mean, obviously, I've never been there before. I know we've played them in League 2 in the past. I think the last time we played them there was our last defeat when we lost 1-0 in March, and I think that was our last defeat of the season before we got all the way. We won unbeaten all the way through to the end of the season, and then ended up winning in the playoffs, all going up to League 1. I haven't been there before in my life. I haven't been there before, so that's a new ground for me to visit too. I think it's a very old school ground. Obviously, I know they have dropped to the conference, but they came back up last season, back in their 1st season, back in the Football League. And I'm looking forward to travelling there, and I think it'll be a good day out. The next team on the list is Leyton Orient, and obviously this is one of our local London derbies because it's in London, obviously, as you didn't guess. It's play at Brisbane Road with attendance of 9,271. I've only ever been there once. I think they came down to League Two. Their first season back in League Two was in the year we went up to League One. And I remember we played there, and I remember Akifem scored a late equaliser and we drew 1-1, and I think we murdered them and we should have won. It's a very good ground. Only trouble is, it's surrounded by flats like our ground, so if you're in the away end, you always look to the left. You always see people in the away end in their flats, and you can just see it. I think it's a bit of a strange place to put the flats. I know our flats on the ground is behind the stands. They've got it in the corners of the stands. Like if you look in the corner, there's a lot of flat blocks each corner of the ground. But it is nice. I think it's a nice ground and one I'm looking forward to going to, and I think they could be one of the dark horses next year in the league. Coming up next on the list is Mansfield Town, the team that lost in the League Two playoff final. The field mill they play at. I mean, it's a bit of a crappy ground, to be honest. And the attendance there is 9,186. Now, another ground I'm not keen on. I know they're a bit funny there. It used to be all ticket every time we get there. I've done the ground before, obviously. We drew 1-1 there, I think, last time I went there. But I think it's a bit of a funny ground because it's all ticket, because they have to know how many pies they cook. It is a true story. If you don't want to know it, this is what I've heard in the past. But apparently they always make it all ticket. I mean, it's a ground I'm looking forward to going to. It's only got 3 stands anyway, because the camera at the stand, it's not a stand where the camera is. But I think they'll be one of the dark horses. They've got a good manager. But yeah, again, predictions won't come out. But Mansfield's the next ground on the list. The next ground after that is in Wales, and it's Newport County, Rodney Parade. Attendance of 7,850. Right, this is a ground I've not done. I know we've played them in League Two in the past because they were the team that we played in the last season, the year we went up to League One, and I never went to the ground. I've never done the ground in my life. This is a new one for me. I don't know what it's like. I know the pitch gets a bit bad because obviously they share with Newport rugby team. So hopefully we get them earlier in the season rather than later, because every year you're always reading they have to redo their pitch because the pitch gets terrible. But Newport County, the next one on the list. The next team on the list is a ground we've done in League One. It's Northampton Town, Cobblers, Sixfield Stadium, attendance of 7,798. Now this is a team that somehow missed out on promotion on the last of the season despite being third and also winning their game. How? I don't know they've done that. Was a bit suspicious. I think it was still suspicious today. But Northampton then lost in the playoffs afterwards just to top it off. So yeah, they didn't have a good end to the season. I think they'll be up there again next year. Personally, they are a good side. What I saw, they were just a bit unlucky against Mansfield. But yeah, I think they'll be one to watch next season. The next team on the list is Rochdale. And we've done this ground before, so another one we've done in League One. They play at Spotland, or Crown Oil Arena, I think it's called these days, with attendance of 10,000. It's a very nice little ground. It's just a bit of a... Right, there's nothing there really, just a fish and chip shop, if anyone's looking for it. But they are one of the teams, I think, underachieved this season in League Two. From what I saw, the players they've got, they underachieved a bit. And I think next year will be a lot better for them, because they've had 1 year, and that 1 year, I think next year they should push up the league a lot. But it's a nice little way end. It's a nice way end, a nice ground. I'm looking forward to reaching it. They've got very nice people. But yeah, Rochdale next on the list. The next one on the list is a new ground for me. It's Salford City, home of the team owned by the money merchants who used to play for Man United. Now they play at Moor Lane with attendance of 5,108. It's a very small ground. It's a bit non-league, but it is really new. Obviously, if you've seen it on the documentaries on Sky, like myself, it's not great, but they do well. I think they do well, but they really do underachieve. The amount of money they put in, they definitely seem desperate to get into League One, and they've never seemed to do it. I mean, they've always fallen short of the playoffs. I don't think they've actually been in the playoffs since they've been promoted to League One. League Two. Sorry, I might be wrong with that, but I think they should probably. They'll probably be. If you look at the bookies now, I'm pretty sure they're probably the favourites for the job. It's a nice ground. I'm looking forward to visiting it. Just the trouble is, it's in the middle of nowhere. But Salford, the next. The next ground on the list is Stevenage, and they play at Broadhall Way, or I don't know what's called these days. Lamex Stadium, is it? I think 7,800. And yeah, it's a bit of a poor ground. The attendances there are not very good. I don't think they get over 2,000. I think they get under 2,000 a game. I mean, you can see why. If you look at the money they've got, obviously they're sponsored by Amazon Prime, I believe, this season. I think they underachieve as well. They underachieve quite a bit, considering the money they've got from the club. I mean, last year they had about 4 managers. Obviously, they've got Fatty Boy in charge now. I'm not going to be rude, but you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name. But Stevenage, again, one of them sides that seem to get out of it. I mean, it's not a very good away. I mean, luckily, more fans, the away fans take quite a few there just to keep the club going. I don't know how they keep it going, but yeah, not a ground I'm looking forward to visiting again. The next ground on the list is another new one for me. It's Stockport County, the team that won the National League last season. They play at Edgeley Park with an attendance of 10,852. A good ground, a very nice ground. I mean, I've seen it on when they play Bolton on the TV, and I've also seen it when I've been watching the National League this season. It's a very good ground, and they get a very good attendance. Definitely one I'm looking forward to visiting next season. I've never been there before, Edgeley Park. I have seen Stockport play before, however. I can't remember who it was again. I think it might have been when I watched them play Norwich back in League One when I was about 8. But that's years ago now. But yeah, a good team, and I'm glad to see them back in the Football League after they went even one down in the National League North. But that's another ground I'm looking forward to visiting next season. Next on the list is Sutton United. They play at Gander Green Lane. That's the second derby of the season, obviously, because they're just across West London from us, and they have an attendance of 5,013. Obviously, we have played them before in the FA Cup when they knocked us out in the replay, and I didn't really like the ground. It's too small. It's a very non-league ground. But they've done well last season. Fair play to them. They finished just outside the playoffs. At one stage, it did look like they were going to make the playoffs. They sort of faltered near the end of the season as they caught up with them, and they did well. I think next year will be a bit tougher for them because obviously the first season no one knows how you play. The second season teams figure you out. But that's a ground I'm looking forward to visiting in the London Derby, and I can't wait. The next team on the list is Swindon Town. They play at the county ground, an attendance of 15,728. Now, I've only ever been to Swindon once when we were League One the first year. It was a very boring game. It was 0-0, I can remember. Swindon Town, however, are known for one thing near the ground. It's the Magic Roundabout. If you haven't seen it, have a look on Google or whatever, because the Magic Roundabout isn't what England is known for, really. I think, personally, to myself, it's a good ground for League Two. It's probably one of the bigger grounds in the league. Obviously, Bradford isn't massive, but it's big enough. I think they were unlucky because they obviously lost on that penalty shootout to Port Vale, the eventual winners, and I think they were unlucky last season. But probably be one of the favourites to go up next year. That's how I see it. But yeah, Swindon. The next ground on the list is Tranmere. Tranmere play at Prenton Park with 16,789. Now, we've only ever played Tranmere once, from what I can remember. Obviously, we did play them in League Two before. We played them in League One 3 years ago, and they obviously, well, we know what happened there. Obviously, I don't know if there's any hatred still between the two sides because that's been 2 years ago now since the supposed incident of us relegating them happened. But it's a big ground. I mean, I don't know if many people have done it. I would done it last time. It's a very big ground, very good sized ground for League Two. Probably been good. It's also a very good sized ground for League One as well. And I think I'm looking forward to visiting it again. And yeah, hopefully we can get a better result. And the final ground on the list is Walsall. Walsall play at the Bescott Stadium, attendance of 11,300. Now, one game in particular I think many people remember was a game back in 2018 where we beat them 3-2 after being 2-0 down at half-time. And absolutely awful. We came back, we won 3-2. Now, I think to myself, every time I see it, I think, why them teams, that was the reasons we stayed up in the league. We needed them sort of performances. Don't talk about that. Walsall's ground, lovely ground. Big ground, easy to get to. It's right next to a train station. It's a big ground. I'm looking forward to visiting it next season. So guys, that's it. That's all 23 sides we'll be visiting next season in League 2. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Give it a like, a comment and subscribe down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully, I just want to put a note on this. I do apologise about lack of uploads so far. There's been not much news over the past week. There's been no transfer rumours. If there was a transfer rumour, I would post a video on it. But there hasn't been anything over the past week. It's all gone quiet. Obviously, I'm not blaming Jacko for that, but I think he knows what he's doing. I'm just thinking they're trying to get the right people in. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.